days away from the final presidential debate of 2016. And after nearly a year in the making, students are still wondering how UNLV landed the event.
The bidding process is very, very hard to get. And to think about it, you are competing against other universities throughout the whole United States. When we think about the debate, we think about like, oh, well, it's going to be hosted at the Thomas & Mack, but there's actually more to that. The Las Vegas Convention Center thought that it would be a great investment for both UNLV and the Convention Center to partner up with that. So we submitted our application and it was granted by the Presidential Debate Commission, and we landed the last spot.
But in this bidding war, UNLV clinching the last spot really means the university comes out on top.
We are the last debate that people will be able to hear from. And it is going to be UNLV that defines that. And right now, UNLV is known for being different, daring, and diverse. And I think that is what the next presidential candidate will be. It brings all the center attention to why we deserve to be on that national spotlight. And for once, we actually get that. We actually get the top position in that.
The debate has already generated $85 million in publicity for the city and university, and will be drawing an estimated 70 million people watching the night of the debate. Reporting for Studio G, this is Rio Lockenlolly.
Thanks, Rio. And hopefully UNLV sees more debates on campus in the future.
With the debate happening on campus this year, many parking lots and buildings will be closed to accommodate for the event. Reporter Nathan Asselin has the story.
As the final presidential debate approaches, UNLV is making its final preparations to ensure everything runs smoothly the day of the debate.
You can't get into the parking lot without a student trying to hand you a flyer that shows the map and the days impacted. And so we're really working hard to make sure that both through electronic means and physical means, we're notifying every student where the alternate parking spots are.
The event has caused some buildings to close down, and many professors have changed their format to online to prep for the classes during debate week.
Rumors always abound when you have a large event that impacts the entire campus. There's never been a statement that classes were canceled.
This inconvenience is not entirely bad for students and faculty. The debate is bringing many positive effects to the school and students by giving them opportunities to volunteer.
So we've had 5 of really national, internationally recognized experts on debates and political science and history come and not just give a public lecture, but also they met with students in classes as part of the formal class.
Reiber mentioned that he wants to make sure that students who are not helping with the debate are still able to participate in some way. We
want to make sure that that's done, and certainly we want all individuals to be able to express their opinion. The campus absolutely rabidly supports free speech.
The final debate is taking place at 6 p.m. and can be viewed on various news outlets. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Nathan Asselin.
Make sure to arrive early on Wednesday if you plan on coming to campus.
In preparation for the presidential debate, some major changes have been happening outside of the Thomas & Mack Center. This makes us wonder what changes are going on inside. Reporter Jocelyn Luna has the story.
UNLV's Thomas & Mack Center is home to the Runnin' Rebels during basketball season, but this week it will be home for the third and final presidential debate. Mike Newcomb has been a very busy man, as he and his staff have been steadily preparing for the millions of eyes that will be on our historical home turf.
About a year and a half we've been working on this. We were approached by Don Snyder, who was then interim president here, and he had some connections with the Commission for Presidential Debates. Frank Fahrenkopf, an old Nevada guy, always wanted to bring the debates to Nevada. So we met with Don and the LVCVA and Rossi Rollencotter and decided it would be a good partnership if the combination of UNLV and LVCVA put in an application to host a debate in 2016.
The first of many changes were the large containers placed in the black lot surrounding Thomas & Mack.
On one of the site visits with Secret Service, they did mention they had used containers before in certain areas to maybe build up a little bit higher and make it where you couldn't see through certain areas if there was a questionable, if you were in a neighborhood or up against some apartments or something like that. So that's kind of where we got the idea, hey, can we expand on the use of those and maybe save on that expensive fence?
Newcomb gave Studio G a little insider on what changes are taking place inside of Thomas & Mack.
So in the arena, obviously it's an 18,500 seat arena that had to be trimmed down with large curtains from floor to ceiling to get to the desired number of wanted an effect of a TV program. So that's all been curtained off to make it the right size for them. All the network trailers and trucks outside, they're all connected. So you're talking about miles and miles and miles of IT cable, power. There's probably 25, 30 generators on site because at certain points, none of the building will be run off house power. It'll all be generators. So that maintains that consistency there. Huge amounts of construction going on outside for the stand-up positions. There's 72 stand-up media positions out there.
For security reasons, we were not granted access to go inside of the building, but you can catch the debate on TV Wednesday night. Jocelyn Luna, Studio G.
That's right, crews are working on the finishing touches just 2 days before the final presidential debate here at the Thomas & Mack Center at UNLV. UNLV has been preparing for this final debate for almost a year, and everything seems to be according to plan. Thousands of people will be in attendance for the debate, including over 5,000 journalists, hundreds of politicians from around the world as well. Because of that grand number of people who will be here, great security measures have been put in place to ensure the safety of everyone who will be in this perimeter. Multiple shipping containers have been placed strategically around the perimeter of the Thomas & Mack Center. UNLV police also teamed up with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department to monitor this area in the days leading up to the debate. The police department did strategically place cameras throughout the parking lot. They are 24/7 live feed cameras so they can catch any suspicious activity going on before it actually happens. The safety of the people is one of UNLV's greatest concerns, which is why all these security measures are in place. Students and faculty are off limits to this area unless you have one of these pre-debate access passes, and the only way to get a hold of one of these is if you started the security clearance back in May. The debate, like I said, is only 2 days away, and everybody is completely excited. I have talked to a few people as preparations come to a close, and we just cannot wait for this day to finally be here. Reporting live from the debate arena, I'm Jennifer Hurtado for Studio G.
Thanks, Jennifer. And after the break, we'll go to James Schaefer for the weather.
My goal is to be an on-air personality, and that's what my career is. It feels really incredible because I've been wanting to do something like this for my whole entire life since I was little.
I mean, it's an opportunity to express myself, get my voice out in public, and get heard for things that I feel strongly about.
This station helped me out a lot, gave me a lot of information I didn't know about a radio station in general.
I mean, it was really easy to get a show here. I took the classes and did the shadowing. They give you a lot of freedom to do what you like, and I feel like there's a lot of support in places you can get answers to.
It's just an incredible experience because I could take what I learned here and I could turn it into something more.
Our Metropolis is a 30-minute show that airs every Tuesday evening at 91.5. You're going to hear Dr. Gary Larson along with our regular contributors talking about what matters to our community. And not only what matters, but why does it matter? We look at our community as a whole, but we also pay special attention to what's happening here at UNLV because that's our home as well. So looking at our Metropolis through the lens of a radio show really gives us the unique perspective to tell a story through words and through people, and I think it makes for a great program.
Oh, the station's great. You make friends, you gain skills, you learn how to do all this stuff with audio. It's a fantastic thing.
I can grow with everyone and everybody supports me as well as I can support them.
I think it's great. I think it's a blessing to have this kind of equipment from the Green Spun family as well as the state of Nevada.
And it's really informative to see, how a radio show really works.
Now that I do it, I have friends, I have people that want to hang out, and I get to play music a lot.
It's very good too because we have all the top of the line equipment to work with and students here that can help you out, so it's a very, very good way to get involved in the radio.
Thanks for sticking with us after the break. Now let's go ahead and look at today's weather. Now I know last night we saw a lot of wind, but we're going to see a little bit more of that. But let's go and look at the temperatures. 80 degrees Fahrenheit for the high today, so thankfully we're going to see some cooler weather, but not just yet. We'll see it later in the week. Lows at 60, we'll see that for tonight. But other than that, today's looking pretty normal. Let's go ahead and look at your 4-day weekend or your 4-day week forecast. Looking from today down to Thursday, we are seeing those low 80s once more, and now those are the highs. So thankfully we are finally seeing some seasonal weather for a change in the week with those lows coming down. Now here's the real story, the wind. Last night we had 15 miles per hour for the wind. It's nothing like yesterday. We had 21 miles per hour yesterday. So if you had a kite, well, let's just say little Susie's gone. So now let's look at the valley. Look at the valley and we go ahead and just look down from Centennial down to Boulder City, and we pretty much see a margin very much the same that we saw last week, between 4 to 7. 76 degrees Fahrenheit for up in Centennial and all the way down to 82 degrees Fahrenheit in Henderson. But that's not a shock for most Hendersonians. We usually get the bell end of the weather for most times of the year. For most of the other area of the valley, we have from North Las Vegas down to Summerlin, we see that margin of 4 to 7, so not much of a change. If you're driving through the Las Vegas Valley, pretty much the same throughout it. But let's go ahead and look at the rest of the country. Pretty unseasonal weather for the most part when it comes to areas along the coast, along the west coast as well. We do see a tropical storm down here that just went up to 30% chance of becoming an actual hurricane, so keep an eye out for that. The only place in the country that is actually seeing seasonal weather is up in Seattle, and they're seeing a little rain, a little snow, so finally that real October weather. So I know we're not going to see that for the rest of the country, but hopefully we'll see it here soon, maybe next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how about you guys? What kind of weather do you guys usually watch out for? You're probably not enjoying the wind, are you?
No,
Not at all.
No, especially last night when I was trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Took me till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and then there were a bunch of people on my streets who didn't take in their trash barrels from trash day. And they were just blowing. I could hear them just like blowing in the streets.
I know exactly what you mean. I had a drone flying last night. It's now about 4 blocks down. So
Oh, that's wonderful.
quite a thing, but
I
that's the
don't
weather
love
for the
wind.
week. You don't have wind?
I don't.
Well, expect it for the rest of the week.
Oh, lovely.
This election season has been drenched with stories having to do with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. But as we have gotten to know the presidential candidates better, the vice presidential candidates have taken a backseat on the stage. So let's take a moment and get to know the VPs. VP pick is a U.S. Senator from the state of Virginia. His background comes from law and representing the underprivileged in the areas of urban development, as well as spoken out against the wars in the Middle East and sometimes spoken against himself.
Is the fastest growing demographic in this country.
The president does not have the legal power to maintain this war without Congress.
I am boring. But,
Okay.
but boring is the fastest growing demographic in this country.
On the other side of the ticket, there is Donald Trump's VP pick, Mike Pence, conservative radio show host and Indiana Republican who has been serving in public office since 2000. A touted Christian and experienced private attorney, Pence brings a more established voice to the ticket. This is the best seen in his speech at the Republican convention.
At the very moment when America is crying out for something new and different, the other party has answered with a stale agenda and the most predictable of names.
Cutting my story?
Are you serious?
Because we're running hot.
With the debate coming up, we will hopefully get to see more of our potential VPs, but chances are the debate and presidential candidates alike will dominate the stage and the conversation. That's all we have for today, Rebels. Don't forget to check us out on social media.
We are also gearing up for Wednesday night to bring you the final presidential debate.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a great show.
Yeah, I just wish I could.